Good evening, everybody, and sorry for the technical difficulty, but we are live just in time for kickoff as Brentwood squibs it down to the 35-yard line, and it looks like it's picked up there by Seth Siebert, and he takes it forward for about 3 yards, and St. John will take over 1st and 10 to start this game against the Brentwood Eagles on their own 38-yard line. So St. John's offense gets a chance early in this game. Coming off a 42-point effort last week against DeSoto, big 42-7 win, and they're going to look to see if they can go into district play next week with a little bit of momentum. Quick swing out here from Logan Geck to Bryce Trollinger. Bryce Trollinger's tackled on the play by number 3 for Brentwood. That's John Danforth. He's a 5'8", 130-pound senior defensive back. Watching these kids in warm-ups, not a lot of kids on their roster. But they do have some athletes, some good-looking kids out there running routes and catching balls for them. Here's Logan Geck as he goes over the middle, and he passes to Logan Trollinger. Oh, sorry, that was Zach Boyer as he gets ahead for about 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and a very short 1 yard here right at midfield. So there's probably a 2-down situation for St. John as Logan Geck looks to hand off to Austin Bullock, who dances, shifts in the backfield, and he gets ahead for about 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for St. Genevieve. Nice first sequence of downs for St. John. And there's the handoff to Zach Boyer. He's out to the right side, and he gets forward for about 13 yards. That's going to be another 1st down. And if you can hear me, let me know. Molly's telling me we're not live. We are live. Look at that.
How'd you get that?
I lied. We got 18 viewers. So thank you for joining us as Logan Geck hits the seam pass to Zach, and Zach's going to go in for a touchdown, 35 yards to start the game. Quick 6-second lead for St. John. Quick strike for the offense. What a way to start senior night for St. Genevieve High School here tonight on this cold, chilly night at St. John Dragon Stadium.
Oh, there it is.
In true form, we lost our stream right before the game started, so we had to scramble around, and we got it as Mateus Lacerda kicks the extra point. Mateus, the Brazilian foreign exchange student, wanted to send a shout-out to Elise, and you remember what the other sister's name was?
No.
Oh, sorry. It'll come to me. Elise, I know, was one of them. Marco and Claudia, mom and dad as well. We love our international viewers. So quick start there for St. John. Opening drive, 5 plays, spanned a total of 63 yards, capped by a 34-yard touchdown pass from Logan Geck to Zach Boyer. And Mateus looks to kick off here, and he kicks it to about the 15-yard line. It's received there by number 23. That's Josh Danforth. Hurdles a kid. There's an athletic play by that young man. 35-yard return takes it all the way out to midfield, and Brentwood will start their opening drive right there as we get ready to see their offense for the first time. They run some double wing stuff. A lot of motion. You'll see a lot of misdirection, a lot of counter action. Same type of offense that Lamar High School runs. Hasn't had quite the success as Lamar High School, obviously, but it can be a bear to defend as they come out in doubles out of the spread look. And he hands off the left side and strung out there by Clayton Kreitler, and then it looks like picked up by Jesse Kemper. And that's John Clay, their leading rusher, and we'll get to their stats here in a minute. But John Clay is their leading rusher. He's a senior, 5'11", 175 pounds. And now we see that offensive look that we were expecting to see. Double wing set, double tight end with a fullback sniffing right there. And then the right side wing motions to the left. He takes the pitch for a sweep. He gets about 6 yards, and that's going to be enough for a Brentwood first down.
Made by number 21, Colby Hetfield, and number 58, Clayton Kreitler. First down, Brentwood.
And we have an injury on the field. Looks like a Brentwood player is down. Looks like a lineman. And that'll give us time for our first commercial break.
Instinct is a powerful force. A whitetail assesses the world in ways we can only imagine, and nature will dictate the routine. So we become humble students of this creature, evaluating its every move, hoping we can be in the right place at just the right time. Well, stop guessing and start thinking like a whitetail. Utilize the science behind nature and instinct to forecast their patterns to determine deer movement before it happens. No matter where you hunt or where the next adventure takes you, get ahead of your game with DeerCast. Instinct is a powerful force. A whitetail assesses the world in ways we can only imagine, and nature will dictate the routine. So we become humble students of this creature, evaluating its every move, hoping we can be in the right place at just the right time. Well, stop guessing and start thinking like a whitetail. Utilize the science behind nature and instinct to forecast their patterns to determine deer movement before it happens. No matter where you hunt or where the next adventure takes you, get ahead of your game with DeerCast. Instinct is a powerful force. A whitetail assesses the world in ways we can only imagine.
Here, Molly.
In 1963, Fleeg's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler Turf, Vermeer, Cub Cadet, Massey, and many more, helping with all your family and lawn needs. Service from the time you enter the door or pick up the phone is taken to heart.
At Fleek's Farm Equipment, we ask that you let our family
serve your family. Go
Dragons!
In 1963, Fleeg's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler Turf, Vermeer, Cub Cadet, Massey, and many more, helping with all your family and lawn needs. Service from the time you enter the door or pick up the phone is taken to heart.
At Fleek's Farm Equipment, we ask that you let our family
serve your family.
Go Dragons!
In 1963, Fleeg
All right, and we're back. Injury on the play was number 72, Jordan Shields. He's not putting any weight on his leg, so we pray that that young man's okay and is able to make a recovery from that injury. Unlikely that we will see him again in this game tonight. He was their right tackle, so we'll see how they're able to overcome that injury. And again, back to the double wing look. We do have a split end out here to the right side this time. And flag on the play. And looks like they're going to get St. John for lining up. Helmet over the ball there. Looked like maybe Clayton Kreitler was a little bit too far forward. And that'll cost St. John 5 yards on that first down play. So Brentwood will have a 1st and 5 as they have in good position here at St. John's, or at their own, at St. John's 35-yard line. Oh, they got him to jump again, and this time the direct snap, that goes to Danforth again, and he's going to get ahead for about 4 yards. They didn't throw a flag on that play. Said St. John was able to get back on the right side of the ball before the snap, and that'll bring up about a 2nd down and 2, very short 2 for Brentwood here in the opening quarter. St. John, 5 plays right down the field. 3 first downs, capped off by a 34-yard touchdown pass from Geck to Boyer. And now Brentwood with their first drive of the game trying to answer, again, with this double wing offense. Very difficult to defend as the little rugby scrum goes up the middle. And he's going to get a hold. That's 12, and Clay again. And I misspoke earlier. He's actually a freshman. 7 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Brentwood. But this is a very unique offense. You don't see it much throughout the course of the year. So when you game plan during a week like this, it's a lot of new stuff that the kids haven't seen before. So it takes a little while of game time to get adjusted to it. So we'll see if Ryan Wyke and his defense can make those adjustments here on the fly. This time a handoff. There we go, left side. Good job setting the edge over there by Clayton Kreitler. And it looked like Kobe Hatfield and looked like Luke Goodwin, I think, was also there to swallow him up. This is senior night. We'll go through those seniors next time we get a break, but we got a bunch of them. We have 20 senior football players as well as the Emeralds cheerleaders and golf girls that were recognized before the game. So we had a rather lengthy pregame ceremony recognizing all those athletes for their hard work over the course of the last 4 years. Snap on the play and little reverse play there. And that's number 23. That's the other Danforth. That's Josh Danforth. He plays the receiver position. John Danforth, brother. I know they're brothers. They're also in the same grade, so I assume that they're also twins. Good
See
deduction.
how fast he was?
Pretty quick kid. Both of them are very fast. But John Danforth is their leading rusher, and then Josh Danforth is basically their only receiver that will see the ball. They do not throw much at all, but you'll see the ball in those two kids' hand quite a bit throughout the course of the evening tonight. And here's a snap, and it looks like a double lead play with the quarterback running. He puts his head down. That's a big, tough running kid there. That's number 7, Cole Gino. And Gino's going to set him up with a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. It may be outside the 10-yard line. It may be 1st and 10, but it's close. We'll see if they even bother with the first down marker. They do not, so we will call it 1st and goal. Came here with many layers tonight, Molly, and it is not as cold as I thought it was going to be.
I know I'm hot.
And here's a snap, and there's the handoff, and Danforth's going to go in untouched as they sealed that end, they sealed the edge and then kicked out the end, and Danforth had nobody near him as he walks in for a 10-yard touchdown. And again, this is going to be one of those defenses. It's going to be kind of a learn as you go. They're playing a scheme that they haven't played yet this year because this is the first time they've seen this kind of offense. So it's going to be a matter of adjustments and kids kind of learning on the fly as to what's going on out there. You can scheme it and you can game plan it and you can tell them, but until you see it, it's hard to really understand exactly what's going on and what the blocking schemes are trying to accomplish. This time we go under center. quarterback Reggie Jeffrey, and he's going to pitch it back to number 12. That's John Clay again, the freshman, and he's going to sneak his way into the end zone, and that's going to give Brentwood an 8-7 lead. So very encouraging start from St. John offense, but that is answered quickly by Brentwood's offense. And we are 2 possessions into this game, and we have 2 touchdowns on the board. So 8-7 as Brentwood will prepare to kick off.
Potential is a proud supporter of all of our athletes and athletic programs. We hope that you don't have to come see us throughout your season, but understand that when you do, it is our job to get you back on the field or court as soon as possible. We wish all of our community's athletes safety and success and look forward to continuing the positive partnerships we've developed with our schools.
And that's a little squib kick picked up there at the 28-yard line. He's going to go nowhere. He's tackled right where he picked up the ball, and that was number 42, Austin McBride. Austin had a good game last week, coming in and at the end of the game, spelling the running backs. Had a big 23-yard touchdown run. Showed a good skill set. Ran over a guy and then outran the defense to the sideline and up the sideline and into the end zone. So we come out in a 2-by-2 set, and the handoff there, Logan Geck to Austin Bullock. Austin Bullock up the middle for 7 yards. Nice gain there on first down, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 for St. John. I got Dr. Gary Smith standing behind me. Tried to get him to put on a headset, and he won't do it. But Dr. Smith runs the DLP program, Dragon Lair Production. Does a great job with that, with our video boards, as Logan looks deep, and that ball is intercepted. Intercepted and still going. Number 5, Jalen Shields, 6 foot, 170-pound senior. And he brings the ball back out to the 39-yard line. Looked like they were going for it all there. Coaching staff's over there talking to Logan right now. Maybe made the wrong decision on who to throw to there. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. It looked like he had a guy going down the sideline and a post route going as well, and I don't know if they think he threw to the wrong guy or should have went to one of the shallow outlet routes. But either way, it is a Brentwood first down from the 39-yard line. So 8-7, Brentwood takes over for their second possession. And here's the snap, direct snap to number 23. That's the Danforth, the receiver Danforth that's taking the ball out of the backfield. And he gets about 12 yards, first down up to right around midfield, maybe a yard shy. And St. John's going to call a timeout. They're going to talk about making some adjustments here and how they can better set these edges and make them cut back inside where they got more support.
Timeout. St. John.
All right, and here's the handoff there on the left side, 2nd down and 1, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So whatever adjustments were made there at the timeout, it worked on that play, and we'll see if we can keep it up. Oh, they did give him forward progress far enough for the 1st down. It looked like he was stopped, but he had just about a half a yard to go, and they gave him that half a yard. And now Brentwood's got 1st down and 10 from midfield, and they come out trips to the right. Big number 44 tight end Jordan Mitchell to the left. And there's a handoff to the inside, and he is wrapped up, and he is pushed backward at about the 47-yard line. That's a whole slew of them. Kobe Hatfield was in there. Looked like Clayton Kreitler was in there. Caleb Roth was in there. Good gang tackling there by St. John, rallying to the ball. And now Brentwood comes out with a split in and a wing on the right side. And there's the wing on the left side coming around for the reverse. And that's the Danforth kid again out of the left wing position. He goes to the 31-yard line for a gain of about 20. 19 yards there for Danforth. A little extracurricular after the play as the fans get a little unruly down here. But no flag. Refs got it under control. Now both the Danforth kids are coming out of the game. Coaches maybe trying to cool them down, making sure they don't get a 15-yard penalty here, as they put the bigger, more jumbo package, we'll call it, into the game. In this formation, last time they had it, number 7 took the snap, Cole Gino. And now it looks like we got a timeout from Brentwood. So both teams burned an early timeout, and that'll bring us to another commercial break.
Instinct is a powerful force. A whitetail assesses the world in ways we can only imagine, and nature will dictate the routine. So we become humble students of this creature, evaluating its every move, hoping we can be in the right place at just the right time. Well, stop guessing and start thinking like a whitetail. Utilize the science behind nature and instinct to forecast their patterns to determine deer movement before it happens. No matter where you hunt or where the next adventure takes you, get ahead of your game with DeerCast. Instinct is a powerful force. A whitetail assesses the world in ways.
All right, Brentwood taking over here, 1st and 10. Still in the first quarter. Left wing comes around the edge, and that's Gino, and he's going to get stopped. Good job there by the defensive end. Maintaining contained. That's Clayton Kreitler on that side, and that allowed Austin Bullock and Kobe Hatfield to come in and clean things up from the linebacker positions, only allowing a gain of about 2 yards there for Gino. And that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 8 for Brentwood.
The 2nd down for the Eagles on the 29-yard line of St. Genevieve.
And they have just 2 people here on the right side of the formation. Overload on the left side, and he is back, and he is sacked. They say he got the ball away just in time, but that was number 6, Reggie Jeffrey. He is their passing quarterback that they have. They do not pass much, but when he's in the game, and that's usually a sign that they are going to try to throw the ball. Gino takes snaps. Both the Danforth kids take snaps. It's kind of a, it's called a spinner offense. Multiple people taking snaps. You never quite know who's going to get the ball. And now Jeffrey's back there again. Trips to the left, and he looks to throw again, and that's a little screen pass out there, and good open field tackle that time. That is number 20. That's Brett Beezer on the tackle. Nice job, Brett. Watching these guys in warm-ups. These guys look like if you get them in space, they're going to be able to do some damage. That was a good job that time by Brett Beezer, wrapping them up, not letting them go anywhere. And that's going to bring up 4th down and about 5 yards. Definitely a go-for-it situation here. Inside enemy territory. Brentwood takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right, and he is sacked again, and that's Evan Walker. Nice play, Evan Walker. He busted right through there. And again, this team does not like to throw the ball much. They typically run the ball, and they passed 3 times on that sequence, and you saw what happened. So I assume their coaches will probably take that sequence and maybe put that one in the back pocket and not come back to it. So St. John takes over. Logan Gake takes the snap. Hands off on the inside to Bullock. Bullock gets ahead for about 4 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for St. John. Here's the quick inside handoff as they speed up the tempo here. And Bullock stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
3rd down, Dragons.
Oh, there's a quick no call count there by Logan, and that gets the defense to jump offside, and that's going to be a free 5 yards for St. John, and that's going to turn it from a 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 2, and probably make it a 4-down situation here. And there's the inside handoff to Bullock. Bullock gets ahead for about 7, so that's going to be an easy 1st down for St. John as he hurdles a guy at the line of scrimmage and gets ahead for 6-7 yards. And 1st down for St. Genevieve. Here it looks like we got a inside handoff again to Bullock. He gets ahead for 4 yards. There's some confusion that time with, I think we had 2 receivers lined up on the line of scrimmage over here. But they're going quick here. Again, tempo, and they get Brentwood to jump off sides. So St. John pulls a string here by changing up the tempo, and Brentwood's having trouble adjusting. They're trying to shuffle people in and out of the game, and they're not getting lined up where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. And as a result, they're making some silly mistakes, and that being one of them there is the right defensive tackle jumped off sides. So it'll be 2nd and a long 1 now for St. Genevieve. Logan Geck back in the gun, takes the snap, and they're looking deep on the outside, and he's open, and ooh, Danforth, boy, I tell you what, that kid closed quick. That was a that was a good job there by the defensive back. And again, we got some extracurricular activity going on out there, and Danforth's coming out of the game again as the coaches try to restrain him. Showed some athletic ability on that play, but he ended up costing his team 15 yards when all was said and done, I think. We got dead ball, personal foul on the defense, and you can only assume that that's probably on number 23, Danforth.
What happened?
There's some pushing after the play, and my guess is something was said that probably was not a word that was supposed to be said. You ever say any of those words, Molly?
No, sir.
Dr. Smith says some of those words sometimes.
Bad words.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from 26-yard line with 55 seconds left in the 1st quarter. And while we have a minute, we'll talk real quickly about our volleyball team. Our volleyball team finished their conference season last week. They had their conference tournament this week. They split in pool play in the opening round of conference tournament play. In doing so, they got in the silver bracket, and they won the silver bracket, which was hosted by Farmington. They beat
Fredericktown and
Fredericktown in the semifinal game of the silver bracket, and then they beat Farmington in the championship game of the bracket. So they ended up with a 5th place finish, first in the silver bracket of the conference tournament, and they will play tomorrow at Festus at 4:30 p.m. So they got not tomorrow, Monday. Hopefully we don't have school tomorrow. But Monday at 4:30 at Festus High School in what will essentially be a quarterfinal game, and they will play DeSoto, and if they win that game, they will play again on Tuesday at 5 o'clock in what will be a semifinal game. And there's a cutback run there by Austin, and Austin puts his shoulder down and just absolutely runs over number 22, Jason Manister. And that young man's going to think twice about putting his head down and trying to make a tackle on that kid again. And now they give it to Austin again. He jump cuts, and he turns back the other way now this time. And he's ahead for just about a yard. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 4, again in 4-down territory.
Hey, Schweiss, you see how they're taking one of the players off the field for Brentwood? We hope that he is okay and all goes well.
Look at you. You can put a headset on. Yes, that was number 72. He got hurt earlier. He wasn't putting any weight on that leg, so hopefully he makes a quick recovery as Logan Gack goes ahead for about 7 yards. And that's going to be a first down for St. Gen, 1st and 10 from about the 17-yard line. And Logan hands off to Austin. Austin again with a quick early cutback, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 9. And that'll probably take us to the end of the first quarter, and it will. And with that being said, we will take you to a commercial break, and we'll try to get an update on some local scores around the area. And before the first snap of the second quarter, looks like again they get Brentwood to jump off sides. And that's going to be, they call it on St. Gen. So I guess one of their receivers maybe was a little bit over the line of scrimmage. So that'll kind of put them in a hole here at 2nd down and 15. And Logan takes a snap out of the gun, trips to the right side. They pass over the middle to Zach Boyer. Zach Boyer gets ahead for about 12 yards. So he's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Right in the middle of the field. This is a situation here. If they don't get it on 3rd and 3, they can elect to go for it on 4th down. Or now that they have a kicker with Mateus, they have that option to kick a field goal, especially spotted in the middle of the field like this. So, open playbook for the St. Gen coaching staff, and we'll see what they want to draw up here as Logan Gack looks over the middle, and there it is, Zach Boyer. Quick little slant route over the middle, and that's a touchdown.
Fantastic
Second
catch.
time tonight that Logan Gack has connected with Zach Boyer for a touchdown, and that's going to make it a 13-8 ball game. Mateus comes in for the extra point. And it is good. 14 to 8 at the very beginning of the second quarter. And St. Gen will kick back off to Brentwood after stopping them in the last possession. I expect Brentwood to come out and probably try to run the ball after the way the last possession ended.
I'm sure you already reminded everybody about the game next Friday.
There will be a playoff game, or a district game, I guess. It's pretty much set in stone that we will play Fredericktown. There is a scenario that may not happen, but given the matchups and given the distance and the standings, that Fredericktown is going to be our opponent. So we will play next Friday night at 7 o'clock as Mateus short high kick to about the 36-yard line. And that's going to be about 2 yards on the return, and Brentwood's offense will take over there. But, yeah, that game will be here. We will host as the 3 seed. The winner of that game will play the winner of Central and Dexter, which is a rematch of 2 weeks ago. So if Central would win that game and we would win our game, we would have to play at Central. If Dexter would win, Dexter would come here, assuming we would win. So that's a look at kind of what's coming up over the course of the next 2 weeks. Brentwood takes the snap. There's the pitch, and the ball's on the ground, and he falls on it. That was Gino getting the pitch there. And that's going to be a loss of about 6 yards on the play. 4 yards, I guess. And good break there for St. Gen. I know Valley is playing St. Pius tonight. We'll keep you updated on that. Farmington and Central are playing. That looks to be a tough matchup for Central. And here's the snap. And that's a lead play for Danforth. Ooh, nice tackle. Perfect form tackle there by Doug. Jacob Boyer.
Yeah, he stopped him right in his tracks.
He stopped him right in his tracks. That was textbook perfect form tackle there. He got 2 yards on the play, but it's still going to be 3rd down and 12. Looking at the scoreboard, Central and Farmington are tied after the first quarter. There's the fake, and they look to throw again, and he has 0 time to throw. Oh.
Little pass interference there.
That was a little pass interference. There's Chuck probably would have got away with it had he not completely stopped and put his hands up in the air like he was totally guilty. I don't even think he really touched him that much, but the ball was so badly thrown that typically they don't call that. But when the defender puts his hands up in the air when the ball's still in the air, it's hard for the ref not to call it. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to be a 1st down for Brentwood. Yes, he looked very guilty on that. Whether he was or wasn't doesn't even matter at that point. John Burroughs early lead over North County 13-0. DeSoto down to Potosi 7-0. Potosi's in our district. They'll be the 4 seed next week. They will play Perryville. And the location of that game will be determined by what happens tonight. They're both very close in the standings. And I'm not sure. Perryville plays Confluence, so they will definitely win that game. They're up 14-0 already. And there's a run up the middle. That's number 12. That's John Clay again. And he gets about 11 yards. 9 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 1. East Prairie beating Fredericktown 20-6. And that's, again, Fredericktown's going to be our opponent next week in all likelihood. Valley Catholic 7-0 over St. Pius, so that's still relatively close. That's in the second quarter. Troy up on Festus 14-0. Festus is a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know what you're going to get with them. 1 week they're great, and next week not so much. Hillsboro 14-7 over Poplar Bluff. That's a little bit of surprise as well, as they missed that little pitch play again, and they're going to lose yardage for the 2nd time in this drive on that same play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. So they go from a 2nd and a very short 1 yard to 3rd down and 5, and now they're in danger of killing this drive here if they don't execute on this play. So that's a rundown of all the scores that we have so far. We'll try to keep you updated. If you see a score change, especially one of the closer games, and we don't get to it, shoot me a text, comment on YouTube, and we will try to get that to our viewers. As that's Danforth up the middle, feels his way for about 2 yards. That's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th and 3 for Brentwood. And inside St. John territory, I would think they'd probably go for it. You don't want to risk a punt here. Luke Terry in on that tackle. Another senior here on senior night. They are going to go ahead and punt it, it looks like, or at least line up at a punt formation. It's number 44, that's Jordan Mitchell. 6'6", 275 pounds. That is a big boy out there doing the punt, and that is a good kick. Oh, and it's muffed at the 10-yard line, and holy cow. Chuck Finley just saved the day.
That was close.
After Chuck Finley had the pass interference penalty, he made up for it there. That was that looked like it was going to be Brentwood's ball all the way. St. John's had all kinds of troubles with their punt return team this year.
How tall was that kid?
He is 6'6", 275 on the roster. That is a gigantic man right there. And here's the snap, the quick pass outside, and that's Bryce. Bryce looks like he caught it off the turf. That'll go down as an incompletion, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 6-yard line. St. John's almost at the point now where you don't even want to send anybody back to return a punt because they just haven't had much luck catching and maintaining possession of the ball when they do catch it. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 as Logan gets about 4 yards. I want to thank Gary Smith for the hot chocolate that he brought me. Very nice of him. Fantastic man.
Maybe a good opportunity to remind everybody that there's the 12th annual St. Genevieve Marching Band Festival this weekend, tomorrow.
Ooh. And that they're going to call that an interception.
You got to be kidding me.
And that's Danforth again. And they're going to take over at the 27-yard line. Yes, Band Festival is tomorrow, and it is, the weather doesn't look ideal. But the show must go on, Doc.
That's right.
So Brentwood's going to take back over here with a chance to regain the lead on a short field as they take over at the 27.5-yard line. Down by 5. Nope, that's 6. 14 minus 8 is 6. Nice job, Schweiss. All right, and Danforth, he takes the direct snap, and he goes out to the outside with several lead blockers, and he's going to get ahead for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. Trollinger in on the tackle. And Brentwood comes out, same formation, only loaded this time to the left side instead of the right side. And 2 quarterbacks set, and they're going to hand off on the reverse this time again to Danforth. And this time he's going to be stopped after a short gain. He gets ahead for about 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 yards. These Danforth kids pretty much get the ball every time, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Here we go, split in out to the left. Spinner formation in the backfield, and we got a double lead play here, and that time it's number 12, John Clay. He gets ahead for about 6 yards, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down as they move the chains, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from now the 16-yard line going in.
Looks like that was number 33, Chuck Finley, that brought him down.
My man, Chuck. Here's a snap, and they hit the reverse going around, and good defense there. Good job setting the edge over there by the outside linebacker. That was actually cornerback Brett Beezer. And then Finley comes up. Hatfield came from the inside linebacker position. Lots of flow going that way. And no gain. Stopped for a gain of 3 yards in the play. Good job there. Good discipline by the St. Genevieve defense. Yeah, in this type of offense, you really need those cornerbacks and those outside linebackers to come up and help set that edge. You can't leave it on the defensive ends to do that. Now they go to a more conventional look. They got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And they look, quick pass. Oh, and he's going to, look like he was going to lose some yards, but he ends up getting ahead. Driven out of bounds. Oh. Did they throw a flag?
Not yet. I was expecting one as well.
He got pushed a little bit out of bounds, and I think he tripped over the sticks.
He's
but
it looks like he's limping a bit. That's number 5, Jalen Shields, Brentwood.
Yeah, that's a good play by him because it looked like he was going to be tackled for about a 7-yard loss. He ended up getting about 3 yards out of it.
Yeah, nice spin.
And it's going to be a 3rd down and 9 from the 14-yard line. Double split in look this time with the wings, and he's going to throw it, and he looks. And it's intercepted.
Number 20, Brett.
Wow.
Nice job.
Great catch by Brett. That looked like it was going to go right over his head into the hands of the waiting receiver.
Nothing better than
Brett got up and picked it off.
Intercepted right in the end zone. Nice job.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Well, we thought that we would see Brentwood stop passing the ball, and they have not. They continue to pass the ball, and it continues to bite them in
the butt.
Shoot him in the foot is what I'm going to say. The butt. Don't touch the butt. You ever see Finding Nemo, Molly?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
And Logan takes the pitch on a speed option. He pitches out to Austin. Austin, not much room out there. Ooh, there's some extracurricular again going on with
a little conversation out there with
that time.
Brett.
It was Beezer and Manister, number 22.
Yeah, JC Manister.
We'll call it a little conversation. Huh?
Yeah, it's a bit of a combo.
Oh, and now we've got.
And now we got a flag up.
Somebody's not lined up properly. Looks like I think they're calling their tackle too far off the line, I think is what they were saying.
Offside Dragons, yeah.
So that'll set them back even further now after the loss on the first down play. Now it's a 2nd down and 16. As St. Jen's going in the wrong direction. This time, quick pitch out to Austin. Good cut on the inside, but good pursuit also on the inside by Brentwood. And he gets ahead for about 4 or 5 yards. Sorry, only 1 yard.
Yeah.
I'm a 5-yard line off. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 15.
Austin's been looking really good lately, hasn't he?
He has. He makes very quick, decisive cuts, and he gets downhill quickly. Logan looks deep, and he throws. Oh, and that's got to be a. There you go.
Absolutely.
Yes, that was definitely. Face guarding is not necessarily a thing anymore, but he definitely pushed him as he was face guarding him. So that's still a penalty. Can't put your hands on the receiver or your body for that matter. Got to be under control, and that's going to give him a 1st down here. That's going to be 1st and 10 at about the 30-yard line, I think, after they mark this penalty off.
We have about 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in the 2nd quarter.
We can see the clock this week, Molly.
There's no big pole in there.
Last week at DeSoto, we definitely could not see the clock. No idea how much time was in that game. Fortunately, it was not a close game, so it didn't really matter a whole lot.
Pass interference. Brentwood.
When they marked it off 15 yards, and they're saying that that's still going to be just about 6 inches shy of the first down. So now it'll be 3rd and inches instead of 1st and 10. So we'll see what St. John brings in their biggie package with their power eye look, and they pitch it to Austin Bullock. Bullock,
nice
cut. He gets ahead for 5 yards.
Fantastic.
Nice play there by St. John. They've had a lot of success with that formation. They didn't use it a lot early in the season, but they've used it a little bit more as the weeks have gone on, and it's a good change of pace. You get teams that are kind of on their heels playing against the spread, and then you come back with that formation with everybody stuck in the middle, and it's hard to defend. This time Logan swings it out to Bryce. Bryce, good move there to get about 8 extra yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. My Wi-Fi isn't working. I'm trying to get the updates and scores as we get a first down here from Austin Bullock.
Again, Austin is looking real good. They are really trying to move that ball down the field. They are just.
Logan rolls out. Nice job. Hits Zach Boyer wide open there by the sideline.
He's
Zach,
going.
He
Zach's
makes a few moves, and he gets all the way down to the 13-yard line. That's going to be a 40-yard pass play from Geck to Boyer. That's kind of been the theme of the first half so far, at least offensively for St. John. Those two have connected now 5 times for a lot of yards. He's right up there around 100 yards and 2 touchdowns already here in the first half.
That was awesome.
As they reset the game clock, give a little extra time, or the play clock, sorry. And there's the fake to Austin. Logan. Oh! Upended just inside the 5-yard line. He's going to be tackled at the 2. Did you get that, Molly?
What?
That run?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a pro.
I didn't want you to get in trouble when he goes and watches it on replay, and then all of a sudden he doesn't even get that play.
I got it.
All right, now we're back to the biggie package. 3 backs in the backfield. They're going to give to the tailback. And that's going to be a touchdown by Kyle Kiefer.
Fantastic.
Senior getting the call inside the 5-yard line. Awesome job there by Coach White getting that senior his due there.
And speaking of the seniors, didn't we have like 44 seniors tonight in total?
I don't know how many we had total if you include the cheer and golf and all those.
Yeah, it was 44 of them all together. It was amazing.
I know we got 20 on the football team.
Mateus is ready to go. Mateus is up. Mateus kicks. It's good.
Mateo Lacerta, the son of Marco and Claudia.
That man can kick.
He can kick. Never kicked a football in his life before he came here.
He was a soccer player, right?
He was a soccer player, and it took him about 3 days to figure out how to kick the weird-shaped ball. But once he figured it out, he's only gotten better and better each week.
What an asset to the team.
Hey, I just got a text message from Russ Toombs. Atta boy. He saved me. He got me these scores since my internet's not working. 13-7, Farmington over Central. 13-0 still, Burroughs over North County. They have not been able to add to their lead. 7-7, DeSoto and Potosi at halftime already.
Mateus is back. He kicks.
And 30-yard line.
Here he goes.
Looked like he didn't know what he wanted to do with that ball.
No, I thought he was going to do it.
And he gets about 5 yards on the return.
That was Nick Phillips from Brentwood who received that and brought it back a bit.
I tell you what, Potosi's average is over so fast. They just run, and eat the clock.
Speaking of time, we are down to about 59 seconds. 59.
Windsor over Bayless, 24-0. And we'll keep those coming and try to give you updates before halftime. We'll see what Brentwood wants to do here. They don't really have a quick strike type of offense, so we'll see if they just want to try to run this clock down here as they run up the middle. If they get plays like that, they won't have to. Oh, there's a fumble, and St. Jen's going to recover, and they're going to have a chance to score before half.
That was Bryce Trollinger that brought him down and caused that fumble. Thank you, Bryce.
Nice job. Bryce has forced a lot of turnovers. I think he's got 3 picks on the year, and he's also forced several fumbles.
Fantastic.
So he's had a big year, both offensively and defensively. 51 seconds remain, and St. Jen's going to have a chance with 2 timeouts left to punch this ball in and go up by 3 scores at half.
A lot of action on the sideline. Coaches giving signals all over the place.
You know what any of those signals mean, Coach?
No.
How did they know who to listen to if they're all doing different ones?
They have dummy.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
It was a great pass. It was a heck of a hit.
Uh-oh.
He dropped it.
He's going to have the wind knocked out of him on that one.
He looks like he's hurting. That's right. He's still down.
Is that Bryce?
Getting up slowly. That's definitely Bryce, yeah. Bryce Trollinger is down.
Almost a great catch.
Trying to catch his breath.
Logan, he's not gonna say thank you to Logan on that one. Logan kind of hung him out to dry on that one. It was a good ball in the sense that it was right where it needed to be, but you don't want to put your receiver in that position where he's going to get clobbered like that. Good hit by the defensive player, and I hope that Bryce just got the wind knocked out of him.
Everybody's taking a knee on the field as they should. He's still on his knees.
There was a flag, wasn't there? Way back here at midfield.
I didn't see it.
They did call holding.
They did. That's when the
yeah, they got the first down marker marked way back.
That was Emily Apt, one of our DLP crew, running the display board, giving us the information on that play. As Molly is managing the video, the live stream.
All right, so Bryce gets up.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think he probably just got the wind knocked out of him. That's enough to scare a guy when he get blindsided like that. He's looking back at the ball, and that guy just came up and got him right in the ribs.
Yeah, he hit him hard out of nowhere. Way to go, Bryce.
Hopefully he can still play taps at the Veterans Assembly. He can play the trumpet, man.
He can play a mean trumpet.
He can play the trumpet. I'm not sure why are they marking that. Why are they marking that 14 yards?
Was it the holding?
Yeah, but that's not it's a 10-yard penalty. It's 2nd and 24.
Yeah. We have 45 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts left?
2 timeouts left. Logan rolls out to the right, and he throws it over the top, and that hits Zach Boyer, and that's going to be a good 15-yard gain. Let's see if – they called him out of bounds. That's good. That means the clock's going to stop.
What is it, about 48?
Oh, nope, now they wind it. Originally called them out of bounds. Now they wind it.
We're 34 seconds.
And now we're running.
We are rolling.
34, 2nd down and 6. They elect not to call a timeout here. Logan gets the snap.
Logan's back.
Looks over the middle. That middle's been wide open all night. And that ball.
Was that Clayton?
That's Clayton Squires, number 23.
All right.
Good athletic kid, sophomore. He's going to be a key player next year after we lose all these seniors.
Great catch.
And that's going to stop the clock temporarily while they set the chains. Looking to the sideline for a play call, 14 seconds. They still have 2 timeouts.
And we're off. Here we go. He's back.
And there's a throw.
Pass.
Get down,
Caught.
get down. And that's going to be a 20-yard line. That'll stop the clock.
First down.
Probably could have used one of those timeouts a couple plays ago when the clock was running over here on the sideline. But in their defense, the side judge did say that ball was out of bounds and then changed his mind and decided to wind the clock. So they may have missed
This is kind of a nail.
change.
This is kind of a nail biter. We have 4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, time for one play, and they need 20 yards.
20 yards to go.
Mateus is on the sideline, so he's trying to talk the coaches into letting him kick a field goal here. He is probably not going to win that. That would be a 38-yard field goal, probably a little bit out of his range.
Yeah, my money's on him.
He could definitely do it if he wanted to.
He's got a leg. when they put him in my class the first day, I said, "So do you like sports?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "What kind of sport do you like?" He said, "Football." And I said, "Perfect. We got a football team." He's like, "Oh, yeah." And then
football.
later on, he realized that it was a different football team. I knew what kind of football he was talking about, but yeah.
I asked him if he speaks Brazilian.
He does not. What does he speak?
Portuguese.
He speaks Portuguese.
I felt really stupid.
Yes, I was speaking Spanish to him the first day, just assuming that he spoke Spanish.
The good news is he told me it was close enough so he actually understands Spanish. That was a comfort for me when I was doing the same thing in my class.
All us bilingual teachers up at St. John High School.
Trying to be.
I teach more. I speak more Spanglish.
And he's back.
And here
it's
it
off.
is. There's a play up, a little wheel route, and he cuts inside. He's going to score. Zach Boyer. A third touchdown of the first half. Third time those two have connected. Woo! Last play of the first half. Good for a touchdown. 27-8. That's going to bring in Mateus for the extra point. Wow. Nice call there by Coach Kellen Balzer and the offensive coaching staff.
Fantastic.
Ran that little
staff.
wheel route down the sideline, had it at about the 8-yard line, and then let Zach do his thing, made a cutback, got to the middle of the field, and scored. And Mateus
up, and it's good.
4 for 4 on the PATs, and that's going to take us to halftime. 28 for the St. John Dragons, 8 for the Brentwood Eagles. And we are going to take a break. We'll get the stats. We'll update the scoreboard. And we will see you back just before the second half starts. You've been watching SG Dragons TV. And we are back to start the second half as St. John kicks off. And they kick deep, and that ball hits down at the 20-yard line, and it's picked up at the 13. And he's tackled down there by, looks like Kobe Hatfield. Sorry, that's Caleb Roth. Oh, and Kobe Hatfield, both. As well as Chuck Finley. So Brentwood will take over with the first possession of the second half, trailing by a score of 28-8. At the bottom of the screen, you see some scores scrolling, halftime scores from around the area. Farmington's taking over in that game out at Farmington. They're leading by a score 28-7. Valley up 21-0 over St. Pius. The other score, kind of surprising, is the DeSoto Potosi score. They're knotted at 14. That game's already almost through the third quarter. Oh, and they bust out. Gino with a long run. And, oh, he pulls him down. Nice job, Bryce Trollinger. Good hustle. That was a 70-yard run there by Gino to start the second half as he busted right through the middle of the line. I don't know if there was a missed alignment there or just that good of blocking on that play, but Gino did not have any sort of contestment as he went right through the middle of the line, all the way from one 15-yard line to the opposite 15-yard line. But, again, good job by Bryce keeping him out of the end zone. And we'll see if St. John can reward Bryce by stalling this possession out here as, looked like a little bit of a hold there, but again, untouched, 2 plays. Very little resistance put up there as Danforth goes in for 15 yards. And they get a quick strike, 2 plays, 39 seconds of clock time, and we got ourselves a ball game. Right after St. John got all the momentum going into halftime, they quickly come back and get right back in it. The positive cheer from Emily Apt. Oops, put that on the wrong side. So 28-14 as we await the 2-point try up the middle, and looks like they pushed him back, and no go, says the official. So it's 28-14, 2-touchdown game. And St. John will get their first possession of the second half after we'll say a lackluster defensive possession there. Just a reminder that the volleyball team will play on Monday night, 4:30 against DeSoto. They have the 5 seed. DeSoto has the 4 seed. They met earlier in the year. Unhealthy St. Genevieve team lost to DeSoto, so DeSoto ended up with the higher seed. But if I were a betting man, I would say that St. John would be the favorite in that game. And if they do come out on top in that game, they will play Tuesday night, 5 o'clock. If they would win the 5 o'clock game, they would play the winner of the 6:30 game, which is will be Central and – no, sorry. They would play Central at 5 o'clock. And if they would win that game, they would play the winner of North County and Festus. Both Festus and Park Hills have really good records this year. I think one has 3 losses and the other one has 4 losses on the season. So a couple good teams in that district, and but St. John being healthy now should be able to compete with any one of them. Sectionals. So St. John will take over as the kick goes out of bounds, and they'll take over, it looks like at the 37. Typically the ball will be placed at the 35 if it goes out of bounds, but because it went out of bounds on the other side of the 35, they'll take the extra yardage, and 1st and 10 at the 37. Geck out of shotgun, doubles on each side. He hands the Bullock up the middle, and now he gets ahead for 12 yards. So 3 offensive plays, 3 big gainers for both teams starting the half. So the offense has definitely had the advantage coming out of the halftime adjustments. And we'll see what the defenses can do to sort of mitigate these gains here.
First down, St. Genevieve.
And Logan rides the inside handoff, and he decides to keep it, and he takes it forward for about 7 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 inside of Brentwood Eagle territory at about the 45-yard line. Nice gain there on 1st down. Sets up a very manageable 2nd down situation. Open playbook here for the St. Gen offensive coaching staff. Here's a snap, hand off to Bullock. Bullock peeks his way into the hole and gets downhill, and he's going to get about 9 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up a 1st and 10, now down at the 36-yard line. Good balanced attack in that first half for St. Gen. Plays almost evenly split, 50-50 run and pass. As Logan Geck takes the snap out of the gun, cut back Bullock. Bullock spins ahead. He gets about 2 yards. Quickly we'll run down the first half stats. Logan Geck was 11 for 17, had 173 yards. He also had 3 touchdown passes. All 3 of those touchdown passes went to Zach Boyer, who had 7 catches for 137 yards, including 1 35-yarder right at halftime, as Brentwood jumps offside. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 2 after the penalty yardage is assessed. Clayton Squires had a carry for 13 yards. Brett Beezer had a carry for 13 yards. Bryce Trollinger had 2 carries for 9 yards out of that power I formation. Also, Kyle Kiefer had a touchdown run out of that power I formation. Austin Bullock, sorry, those were catches, not runs. Bad choice. Bullock, he gets bottled up there, and they might get a half a yard to bring up a 3rd and 2.5. So those were receiving stats there that I gave you. Zach Boyer 7 for 137, Squires 1 for 13, Beezer 1 for 13, Bryce Trollinger 2 for 9. Carrying the ball, Bullock getting the bulk of the load there. He had 12 carries for 38 yards. Logan Geck 3 carries for 20 yards. Zach Boyer 1 carry for 11 yards. As Logan Geck goes forward, and he gets pushed forward by, looks like Jesse Kemper, pushes him forward, and he goes from losing a yard or 2 to gaining about 10 yards on that play, and that's going to be a 1st down for St. Gen as they convert on 3rd. So in total, 17 passing attempts, 17 rushing attempts, yardage. $72 rushing yards for St. Gen, 173 passing yards for St. Gen. So yardage-wise, much more through the air, but that running game, keeping that defense on its heels, allowing those things to open up on the defensive backfield. Also forced 2 turnovers. Bryce Trollinger forced a fumble. Also, Brett Beezer picked a ball off in the end zone. That turned out to be a big play for St. Gen midway through that 2nd quarter, really allowing St. Gen to have the advantage going into halftime. So after all that's sorted out, it's going to be 1st down and 10. St. Gen from the 19-yard line of Brentwood. Handoff up the middle to Bullock. He puts his head down, and he's going to get forward for about 8 yards there, looking 7. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3. The offense looks to the sideline. Again, we'll go with double formation here. 2 receivers on each side of Logan. Slot receiver on both sides, split in on both sides. Austin Bullock to Logan's left. They look to the sideline for the play. They get the call. And fakes the pass, runs the quarterback draw up the middle, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Logan Geck. his first rushing touchdown of the night. That brings him to 4 total for the evening. And St. John takes the ball after Brentwood pulls it to a 2-possession game, and they go right down the field, and they score on an 8-play drive, and that's going to make it 34-14 as Mateus Lacerta comes in to kick the extra point. Mateus told me to write down his sister's names, and I said, I'll remember them, and now I forgot one of them. And it's up, and it's good. So Elise and, oh, it's got an A in it, I know. But be proud of your little brother as he hangs out in St. Genevieve, Missouri in the United States of America. And Mateus will get the tee, and he's going to kick off from the 40-yard line as Brentwood sets up their kickoff return. We want to thank our sponsors, Potential, Fleeks Farm Equipment, Wholesome, Drury Outdoors, everything that they do for us and giving us the opportunity to bring these games to you.
Number 22, Jason Manester, and 23, Josh Danforth.
And here's the kick by Mateus. And it is rolling around. They're going to get it. Man, Brentwood wanted no part of that ball. There was 2 of them just standing there looking at that ball as it bounced around on the turf, and that's going to be St. John ball. Doug Boyer. Doug's having a big game out there on senior night.
There's a flag, Schweiss.
There is a flag on the play, but it's on Brentwood, so it will not matter. Snoop Doggy Doug. Don't roll your eyes at me, Molly. Do you know that song?
No.
You don't know that song? Snoop Dogg? Man.
Is that what it's called, or are you talking about the person?
Well, that's the person, but the person also sings the song. It's the name of the song. I don't know if it's the name of the song. It's part of the song. Anyway, they fake the swing pass out to the left. Logan sees an opening. He takes it. He's going to get ahead for about 13 yards, and that's going to be another first down, as now the running lanes are starting to open up for Logan as they are keying on these receivers coming out, specifically Zach Boyer as he's lining up in the slot. And they're turning their heads trying to identify where Zach is, and that leaves a lot of holes for Logan to run through. Logan takes a snap, little counter play there to Austin. And Austin gets about 3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
Made by number 62, Louis McGee.
Trips this time to the left, to the wide side of the field. Kemper over here by himself to the right. Austin Bullock to Logan's left. Logan takes a snap, little counter play this time to the opposite side, and he is hit in the backfield, and he is brought down. That time the defensive end was in the backfield before the pulling lineman had a chance to get over there and kick him out, and Austin had nowhere to go. So that's going to bring a 3rd down and 12 as Brentwood changes some personnel on the field, gets an extra D-back into the game. Looks like they're going to run man coverage here. They are straight man coverage right now. And Logan looks, and he rolls, and he does a little Patrick Mahomes move. Nice play there by Logan. Geck keeps his eyes down the field, and he finds Brett Beezer wide open in the middle of the field. When you run man coverage and you don't get to the quarterback and he's got that much time to throw, you're usually going to find some people wide open. But good athletic ability there by Logan, and good job using his head. That was a great play, great individual effort there by Logan, and good job by Brett securing that catch in the back of the end zone. And the PAT is good.
He's good. St. Genevieve 42, Brentwood 14.
And that'll give us another kickoff here by Mateus.
Kicking off for the Dragons, number 40, Mateus Lacerda.
And there's the kickoff by Mateus, and that is caught by Danforth, the guy they're trying to not kick to. They continue to kick to him. And he takes it up to the 33-yard line, and that's where Brentwood will take over, trailing by a score of 42-14. 6 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
Uh-oh.
And looks like we got another injury on the field for Brentwood. And we'll take a commercial break.
Do you want the headset?
All right, we had some issues there for a minute, but I think we're back live. And there's the snap. Little spin by the quarterback. Number 6, Jeffrey, taking the snap that time. And trying to verify if we are back, but Hatfield made the tackle on that play. And the penalty is going to be on Brentwood, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to knock them 15 yards back, and the play will still count. So it'll be second down and about 18, I think, after that penalty is enforced. Penalty's going to be on Brentwood, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to knock them 15 yards back.
That's 6.
It's picking up on your mic.
Sorry,
all right, so they
Schweiss.
got it. It's going to be 3rd and 18 because the play did count. And there's a snap, and they're going to run it up the middle, give it to Danforth. Danforth's going to get ahead for about 3, and they're going to have to punt this ball away. 3rd and 15, down by 28. It says I have a bad stream quality. Now I have a good stream quality. So I think we fixed it. Molly Barr with the troubleshooting. Good job, Molly.
What?
Good job. Proud of you.
Thanks.
You fixed the problem. Always working up here is Molly Barr. There's a snap, and there's the punt by the 6'6", 275 kid, biggest punter in the state of Missouri possibly. And it's going to roll dead at about the 38-yard line. That's going to be about a 30-yard net punt, and St. John will take over again about the 38-yard line. That's exactly where they took over last time. This thing's making me nervous tonight. Got glitching in and out all over the place. Not sure what all you've seen and what all you've missed at home, but I can tell you that St. John is leading comfortably by 28 points here in the third quarter. And I can tell you that the offense is playing extremely well. They're really starting to find their way here at the end of the season, just in time for district play next week against Fredericktown, as Geck hands off to Austin. Austin puts his feet in the ground, gets downhill, and he's going to get about 7 yards before he's taken down. We'll give him 8. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 2 as the clock continues to run and the chains continue to move with the way this offense is moving the ball here tonight. 2nd down and 1, we'll say, and there's 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Score here to PAT, and we got a running clock again for the 2nd week in a row. That would be nice on these colder evenings. Here is the snap to Logan. Austin flings out to the flat, and Logan again decides to keep it as they're keying on Boyer. A couple guys on him, and Boyer gets about 20 yards on the run as he continues his big night tonight, both through the air and on his feet. And trips this time to the right side. Beezer by himself to the left. Pass out to Kemper. Looked like his knee might have been down when he made that catch, but they don't blow the whistle. And he puts his head down and he barrels through Gino, and he gets all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that's a 26-yard completion from Geck to Kemper. Could have been a 2-yard loss if they would have whistled his knee down there, but after that, good run by Jesse. And that's going to be a 1st and 10 for St. Gen at the 15-yard line, threatening to go up by 5 scores. That magic number 35.
Why is it magic?
Because that's the running clock number. That means the night ends faster.
Don't
which
get
means
sassy.
we get to go to bed earlier. And we have another injured Brentwood player. This is their 3rd, looks like pretty serious injury of the evening, so hope he's okay. But while we wait, we will give you a commercial break. Clayton's going to kill me. Oh, Clayton, I'm so sorry. We are going to get that highlight off of Huddle. Again, we're having technical difficulty.
Who was that?
That was Clayton Kreitler.
Clayton Kreitler.
I ran a little trick play with him out to the far side. Didn't get it on there, but he got the ball at about the 10-yard line and had about 5 people there to tackle him, and he broke through all 5 of them and just muscled his way into the end zone. So we will get that highlight for you next week. And Mateus just inside the goalpost. That's going to be... Oh, I feel terrible. That may have been the play of the year. We didn't get it on TV. But we will get that highlight for you. Sorry about that. Oops. That was Molly Barner's fault.
I had it on the play, so...
I'm kidding. That was my fault. I was trying to update this scoreboard. My sister just told me not to mess with the scoreboard. It was screwing everything up. And then I missed the play. So 49-14, clock will run outside of changing possessions and timeouts. Obviously the end of the third quarter. So this game should start to fly by here as Lacerta kicks off. And he kicks it down to about the 15-yard line. And again, it goes to Danforth, who again has room to run. And ooh, he gets hog-tied over there at about the 30-yard line. Clothesline action. So 49-14. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter as the clock ticks. I cannot believe I did that, Clayton.
The first and 10 for Brentwood will be on the 29-yard line of Brentwood.
But there you see the updated scores at the bottom of your screen. I'll get them off as soon as everybody has a chance to see the entire scroll here. Oh, and there's a botched snap, and Craig Kreitler, after the touchdown reception, now gets the sack, or not a sack, but a tackle in the backfield after the botched snap, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 17 as Brentwood struggling to get out of their own way. As now we get some subs, Dale Probst coming into the game. Eli Holofield coming into the game. Some of the seniors getting a little break here as they play in their final game. Sorry, it's their final regular season game. And that time tackle chased down all the way from the backside. That's Doug Boyer, Jacob Boyer. And Kiefer also on the play. Again, both seniors there as well. All the seniors on the team: quarterback Logan Gack, Jesse Kemper, receiver. We just saw him, outside linebacker. We saw him make a big catch. Bryce Strollinger had a big game today, forcing a fumble. Has had 2 receptions on the night, several tackles. As Brentwood gets ready to pitch it out to Danforth around the right side. Boy, he's fast. He gets about 7 yards. And that's going to set up a 4th and 10. Austin Keene, unfortunately, he wasn't able to play this year because he tore his ACL in the preseason. Austin, good kid. We hope he's able to heal up. Alex DeRouche also injured all year. Had several concussion issues, so he hasn't played this year at all either. Both of those have stayed with the team, though. Have been there every step of the way. Seth Siebert, backup quarterback, also plays some defensive back, playing in his final regular season game. Kobe Hatfield, middle linebacker. He's been St. Jen's leading tackler all year. He's had a good senior season. Austin Bullock, good defensive linebacker, as well as tough physical runner. Gets the majority of the carries, really kind of beats down the defense. It opens up a lot of the other stuff that St. Jen does with their offensive attack. Kyle Kiefer, most of his time was on safety. He did get a touchdown run tonight out of the wishbone package, short yardage package that we run. Chuck Finley, a safety. A lot of tackles tonight, or a lot of tackles over the course of the season, several tonight as well. Jacob Boyer, good game tonight. He got the start last week. He continued to get the start again this week, and he's performed really well. Not an undersized kid, but plays really tough. As Brentwood punts it away, that ball is high and short, and it bounces backwards, and that's going to go down as about a 3-yard punt, and that's going to be St. Jen ball. Christian Hale plays defensive tackle for us. A couple tackles tonight, a couple quarterback pressures. Evan Walker, big sack early in this game, also plays center. On the offensive side, Coy Fleek, defensive end and offensive tackle. Those linemen have done a good job tonight opening up holes for these running backs and allowing Logan time to throw the ball. For the most part, Logan stayed relatively clean, hasn't taken too many hits. So that's always a credit to the offensive line when that happens. Luke Terry gets most of his time at defensive tackle as the team switch side for the start of the fourth quarter. Luke Terry's had a couple big moments over the course of the year, a lot of quarterback pressures. Clayton Kreitler with the big touchdown that we missed a while ago, as well as at least two sacks tonight. He leads the team in sacks on the year, and he's just been kind of a menace for offensive lines to deal with. He also plays offensive tackle. Big credit to him, as well as the rest of them with the holes they opened up tonight for the running backs. They give it to Seth Siebert around the outside, and Seth, another senior that we've been talking about, he goes, and he's inside the 10 to the 5, and they did not get him a touchdown, but he is inside the 5-yard line. As these seniors are celebrating in style here tonight. First and goal from the 5-yard line. So Seth is in at quarterback for Logan. And that was quite a first play for him. And here's the snap. They give it to Kobe Hatfield, and Kobe, oh no, he didn't give it to Kobe. Kobe could have scored, but Seth kept it, and now he scored. So, touchdown, Seth Siebert. So another senior gets the first touchdown of the year. So anyway, going back to the senior list, trying to cover here, Caleb Roth, defensive end, also plays offensive guard. Caleb's had a lot of quarterback pressures this year, several sacks in the season. Luke Goodwin plays offensive guard, also plays defensive tackle. He gets a lot of playing time. He's one of those run-stuffing defensive tackles that really rotates everybody. Oh, no. Bad snap there, and Logan just kind of dumps it off, trying to save himself there, because that was a bad situation. Again, Dakota Orton-Bonnie, another one of those defensive run stoppers, big guy in the middle. Gage Wiegand, he's also been out the entire year. They were talking about possibly dressing him tonight. There he is. He's down there. I don't know if he's played, but he did dress. He's recovering from a knee injury as well. So they're hoping that come next week when the games matter that he'll be able to contribute a little bit. He stuck with the program even though he knew he wasn't going to be able to play hardly at all, if at all, until the end of the season. So kudos to Gage for sticking it out. Jacob Hutchings, another one of those guys, run stuffers on the inside. And then Zach Litton, also defensive tackle. That kickoff goes off the kick returner. And he has to retreat all the way back to the 8-yard line, and that's where he picks it up. And that's where Brentwood will take over. First and 10 from the 8. And it is 55-14. So the clock runs, and we are already down to 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And Coach White's going to get these seniors out of this game. For some of them, he'll try to get them in this game, get some reps, and he'll try to get these starters rested and ready for district play next week against Fredericktown. Brentwood up the middle for a yard. Here comes some of the subs. Zach Burr is coming in. Hunter Reeves coming into the game. See any more numbers come in? Help me out here as guys come in. There we see Caleb Roth coming out of the game. Christian Hale coming out of the game.
Who's number 80?
Number 80 is not on the roster. I'm not sure who 80 is. I'll try to peek down there when he takes his helmet off next time, see who that is. Here we got Thomas O'Brien going into the game.
Ball at time number 12, John Clay.
He'll be playing some defensive back. Eli Holofield going in there to play some defensive end. Dale Probst coming out, 42. Austin McBride going in there to take the inside linebacker spot as Kobe Hatfield comes off the field on senior night. Brentwood lines up. It's like a Chinese fire drill, people going in and out. And here comes the run over here to the outside and cuts it up inside, breaks a couple tackles. He's going to get about 10 yards. You may say, why isn't Brentwood subbing their people out when we got all our second team defense in? But if you look at Brentwood's sideline, you would understand that they don't have many people to sub in. And they do have a couple of their key players on the sideline already. So they have a lack of bodies. Also a lack of fans. There's like 12 people over there. Here's the snap. Bobbled there by Gino. Gino picks it up, buries his head, gave somebody a ride.
Ball at time number 7, Cole Gino.
Luke Terry makes the tackle. There's a senior still getting a tackle there.
Down. Brentwood.
52, Holofield coming out. 29, 28, Uat coming out of the game. Just some coaching moments for these coaches out there as these young guys have a taste of varsity action. Linebackers bump over a little bit. Brentwood takes the snap and hands it off inside, and that's going to be a tackle by
Carry the ball for Brentwood, number 12, John Clay.
Number 30, that's Peter Clinton.
Tackle made by number 68, Hunter Reeves.
Hunter Reeves also in there on the tackle. Hutchings comes out of the game on his senior night. Vincent Wintu coming out of the game. I'm just now starting to get cold for the first time tonight, Molly.
I'm starting to get hot again.
Starting to get hot? Oh, and there's a run to the outside, and he may go to the end. Oh, he's pulled down. Good hustle there. Who is that?
Number 12,
That's Anthony Nash with the tackle. Big gain, though. It's about a 40-yard gain there for Brentwood. As they now have 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with under 3 minutes to play here in this ball game. And there's the lead run there, and looks like Danforth's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Carry ball at time number 3, John Danforth. Tackle made by number 28, Peyton
Number
Buick.
52, Holofield coming out of the game here. And there's the keep up the middle. Oh, pulled down a little bit after the whistle, but no flag there. Dale Probst with the tackle. My favorite nephew.
By number 66, Dale Probst. Third down.
Don't look at me like that, Molly. I'm not showing
Not very nice.
I'm not showing
Is he the only
favorites.
one?
Is he the only one? He's the only one that goes to my favorite school, so therefore he's my favorite nephew.
Perfect.
Don't tell my other nephews. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game, and there's a little reverse from that wing position, and he's going to be tackled right at the first down marker. That's going to bring up a first down and 10. And it looks like Brentwood might get 2 plays yet here if they can get lined up quickly, as there's about a minute left in the game. See if you can see who number 80 is when they take off their helmet. I wonder if that's a freshman they brought up since he's not on the roster. There's the handoff on the inside, and he is hogtied and wrestled down by Austin McBride. And that's going to bring up second down and goal from about the 9-yard line. And it looks like we got about 1 play left, as we're down to about 25 seconds if St. John can get off the field here. See if we can keep him out of the end zone. Keep this a 55-14 final. There's the pass. He cuts up inside, and he's running for it, and he's tackled. Nice play. Good pursuit, and Thomas O'Brien comes up, cuts it down at the 5-yard line, and that's going to bring an end to the contest as St. John finishes the regular season with a record of 6-3, as they are now on a 4-game winning streak heading into district play. We said at the beginning of the season, after that gauntlet of a schedule they played at the beginning, that they would rack up some wins. And they sure did. They stuck with it. They stayed the course. And it seems like every week they've gotten a little bit better, and they're reaching their peak right at the right time as district this next week. That was Tanner Weiler. Number 80 was Tanner Weiler. So as the St. John band plays St. John Will Shine here on senior night, we'll run you through some of the local scores one last time before we send you off. And we have Farmington over Central by a score of 49-14. Farmington is a solid team in this area as they get ready to go into their Class 4 district. John Burroughs 21-6 over North County. Potosi 20-14. That is not a final. We caught up with them with the running clock. We ended our game before they did. 20-14. Potosi over DeSoto. Windsor over Bayless Big. Poplar Bluff 33-26 over Hillsboro. 5 minutes left in that game, so that's still a 1-possession game. That's an impressive performance by Hillsboro. 31-7, Troy over Festus. That game's final. 24-6, Valley defeats St. Pius. Again, that's final. Fredericktown 36-35. They came back to win that game, so they're going to go into next week's contest with a little bit of momentum. And Perryville up big over Confluence Prep. As St. John on their senior night sings their alma mater one last time during the regular season of football.
Not the last time.
And Molly doesn't want the season to end, so she gets mad at me when I say the last time. But last regular season game here tonight at Dragon Stadium. St. John wins big, 55-14. We'll give the player of the game to Zach Boyer. 3 touchdowns in the first half. And St. John gets the victory by a score of 55-14. For Molly Barr and Dr. Gary Smith, I'm Kyle Schweiss, and you've been watching St. John football on SG Dragon TV.